Ciao a tutti e benvenuti. If you follow my channel, you'll know that my language learning practice heavily revolves around reading, listening, and a little bit of writing. I've explored over 15 different methods of language learning, but not one of them has involved speaking. But that's the ultimate goal, isn't it? Most of us dream of engaging with others who speak that language. This is where you unlock the real joy of using a language, actually using it to communicate. I've just spent 14 days doing just that, traveling across Italy from Lake Como to Rome, speaking only Italian. And I've got stories and tips to share with you, so hopefully you can learn from my speaking successes and failures. Andiamo. My first tip is to be prepared. Before you approach someone to talk with, prepare yourself. I did this hundreds of times throughout my trip. To do this, I mostly used an app on my phone to translate and then memorize a phrase before I started talking. This will give you the confidence to kickstart conversations in the language that you're learning. And the more conversations that you start, the quicker your speaking skills will improve. Quick tip, the app ChatGPT on your phone is an amazing tool to help you learn to speak a new language. Firstly, it's very good at translations, and I would often use it to translate terms. But it's also much more powerful than that. For example, when preparing for a conversation, you can ask it to provide useful phrases or the most appropriate expressions to use to start that specific conversation. You can ask the AI which expressions are more common in natural language and when to use them. I even used it to explain phrases, words, and grammar that I heard throughout my travels. ChatGPT was my personal translator and native speaker friend throughout my trip. Once you've started a conversation and hopefully you've received a reply to the initial sentence that you prepared, rather than standing there looking scared, here are 3 phrases that I used on a daily basis to help me navigate trickier speaking situations. Firstly, how do you say blank? This phrase is fantastic for keeping the conversation going in your target language, even when you don't know a specific word. This phrase enabled me to buy a ring from a store in Rome. The owner barely spoke any English. I didn't know a single word for any of the jewelry pieces, but by using broken Italian and repeatedly saying "come si dice," how do you say, while pointing at his wares, we were able to discuss materials, colours, care instructions. It means you don't have to know every single word, and instead, in your practice prior to travelling, you can focus on learning the top 100 verbs in the language and then point and say "come si dice," how do you say, for the rest. The second phrase I'd recommend you learn to help you on your speaking journey is "I don't understand." For me, non capisco in Italian. This phrase is essential for when someone starts a conversation with you, or if you receive a reply that you don't understand. Usually when you say "I don't understand," the person will use simpler vocabulary, slow down, and perhaps use more gestures to help you on your way. I was actually asked by an Italian gentleman if I wanted to join his contemporary art association. I replied saying "non capisco," and he proceeded to talk more slowly using simpler terms, more gestures, and eventually we got there. Here is my membership card as proof. "I don't understand" is a crucial phrase to know as you navigate new waters to speak in the language that you're learning. The final phrase that helped me significantly when speaking Italian was "I'm learning the language." For me, sto imparando l'italiano. This powerful phrase communicates to the other person that you're trying to speak their language, even if it would be more efficient to switch to your native language.
I'm learning.
When I bought a book from a wonderful bookstore in Florence, saying "sto imparando" was beneficial for 2 reasons. First, the shopkeeper then suggested books to me that would be beneficial for my language learning journey. Second, from that point onward, he made an effort to talk to me in Italian, even though his English was perfect. This phrase shows that you are eager to learn and appreciate their language, often leading to more supportive and patient interactions. My next tip is to try to slow down. Engaging with people who have more time to interact will provide better language learning experiences. Speaking with a not-so-busy bookstore clerk will be much more beneficial than trying to converse with a stressed waitress who might be too busy to truly help. Which leads me to my final tip: relax and be courageous. It takes guts to start speaking in a foreign language. There were moments when I felt like a deer in headlights, asking simple questions and receiving elaborate responses in return. But these challenging moments led to breakthroughs, like laughing over a joke made by an Italian shopkeeper, or even being mistaken for a local.
Buongiorno. E questa mele? Sì, sì.
Enjoy the journey. Embrace the awkwardness and the mistakes. They're all part of the learning process. I'm more motivated than ever to speak Italian, and in fact I'm going to try an online language chat site like italki, and I'm going to post the results on my channel, so feel free to follow me if you want to see how I get on. If you enjoyed this video, I always really appreciate a like, and please let me know if you have any other tips for speaking a new language in the comments below. Thanks for watching, keep speaking, keep learning, and until next time, ciao.